Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, Toyota Motor Credit Corporation filed an 8K, and it looks like they are sharing some investor materials that I want to unpack for you. Quick note, this is not financial advice, just my take on public filings for educational purposes. This filing is pretty straightforward, mostly pointing to new investor presentations. But let's see if there is anything interesting in the details they're choosing to highlight. So, we are looking at a filing from Toyota Motor Credit Corporation, or TMCC for short. They are the financing arm for Toyota vehicles in the United States. Companies like this often file these reports to keep investors informed, especially when they are releasing new information or making significant announcements. This particular filing is a Form 8K, which is essentially a report of a company's significant events. Think of an 8K as a current report that publicly traded companies must file with the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, to announce major events that shareholders should know about. It is not a regular report like a quarterly or annual one, but more like an as-it-happens update for big news. The earliest event reported here is the 2nd of June 2026. This tells us what date the important information in this filing became available or relevant. This confirms the exact legal name of the company filing the report. It is clear we're talking about Toyota Motor Credit Corporation. These are details about the company's incorporation and identification numbers. Specifically, it was incorporated in California and has a commission file number and an IRS employer identification number. These are important for regulatory purposes, but not super exciting for us as investors looking for operational news. Scroll 65 Headquarters Drive, Ive. Plano TX 75024, scroll address of principal executive officers, including zip code. Scroll, this shows the company's main office address in Plano, Texas. It is good to know where they are based, but again, not the core of our analysis today. Scroll 469, 486 to 9300 per scroll registrant's telephone number, including area code. Scroll, this is their main phone number. Standard company information that helps with administrative tasks but doesn't give us financial insights. The document asks us to check boxes for whether the filing is intended to satisfy certain other regulations. For example, it asks if the contents are soliciting material for a shareholders meeting or pre-commencement communications. Here, all of those boxes are unchecked, meaning this filing is not being used for those specific purposes. This section tells us what securities the company has registered on a stock exchange. It lists medium-term notes, Series B, with a maturity date of the 11th of January 2028 and a trading symbol TM28. These are debt instruments, not common stock traded on the New York Stock Exchange. This indicates TMCC is raising funds through bonds. The filing also asks if the registrant is an emerging growth company and if they've elected to use the extended transition period for new accounting standards. Both are marked no here, meaning they are not considered an emerging growth company and will comply with new accounting standards immediately. This is where we get to the heart of why this 8K was filed. The company is disclosing information under Regulation FD, which stands for Fair Disclosure. This regulation is designed to prevent companies from selectively disclosing important information to certain parties like analysts or large investors before making it public. This sentence is the key takeaway. Toyota Motor Credit Corporation has prepared investor materials, and they are including these as exhibits with this filing. Importantly, they are being furnished, not filed. Furnished means they are making them public. But they don't have the same legal liability as information that is filed. With the SEC, this usually means they are supplementary materials like presentations or fact sheets, rather than core financial statements that are part of the official filing. This section is where exhibits are listed. This lists Exhibit 99.1 as an investor presentation. This is the primary document they are providing access to. It is likely that this presentation contains the specific business updates, financial highlights, or strategic discussions that TMCC wants to share with a broader audience. Exhibit 104 is standard for many filings now. It is the cover page interactive data file which is embedded within the inline XBRL document. This allows for easier machine readability of key information from the filing's cover page. Scroll pursuant to the requirements of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. The registrant has duly caused this report to be signed on its behalf by the undersigned hereunto duly authorized. Scroll, this is the formal signature section, where the company officially signs off on the filing. Scroll B, Sisson, Tellus, Bethel, Scroll. Here, Tellus Bethel, who is the Senior Vice President and Chief Financial Officer, signs the report. This indicates that the company's financial leadership has reviewed and approved the contents of this filing. Having the CFO sign off adds a layer of official endorsement. So, what does this all mean for us, this 8? K isn't a deep dive into TMCC's latest quarter with tons of financial numbers. Instead, it is acting as a gateway to more detailed information. They're essentially saying, hey, we've put together some investor materials, and here they are for everyone to see. The real meat of the story, the financial performance, the strategic outlook, or any challenges they might be facing will be found within those investor presentations, Exhibit 99.1 and 99.2. Without access to those exhibits, this 8K is just a cover. However, the fact that they are providing these materials under regulation, FD tells us they want to be transparent and ensure all investors have access to the same information at the same time. This is generally a positive sign for corporate governance. The most interesting part is what is in those attached exhibits. Since this filing just points to them, we need to look at those presentations to understand TMCCs. Current financial health, their outlook on the auto credit market, any new financing programs or potential risks they see. For a company like Toyota Motor Credit Corporation, their performance is often closely tied to the automotive sales cycle. If car sales are booming, their business tends to do well. If car sales are slowing down, they might see more defaults or slower loan growth. Given that these are investor materials, we can expect them to highlight positive aspects of their business, like strong loan portfolios, healthy interest income, or effective risk management. They might also discuss their capital structure and how they are managing their debt, like the medium-term notes mentioned earlier. The maturity date on those notes, the 11th of January 2028, means they have a significant amount of debt that will need to be refinanced or paid back within the next several years, which is a common concern for any company that relies on debt financing. We don't have any direct financial tables from TMCC here in the 8K itself. This filing is purely administrative, serving to attach those investor presentations. So we can't pull specific numbers like revenue, net income, or debt ratios from this document alone. The real analysis would require digging into exhibits 99.1 and 99.2, which aren't provided in the text we have here. If we were to speculate on what might be in those presentations, we'd look for trends in loan origination volumes, interest rate margins, delinquency rates, and their outlook for the broader economy and the automotive sector. For example, a presentation might show a year-over-year increase in total loan volume, which would be good, but it might also reveal rising delinquency rates, which would be a concern. Or they might discuss their strategies for managing interest rate risk, especially if rates are expected to rise. To get a better picture, we would need to see if they have a strong history of managing credit risk. Companies like Moody's or S&P might have ratings for TMCC's debt, and those ratings would give us an independent view of their financial stability. We would also look at their peers in the auto finance industry. How are companies like Ford Motor Credit Company or captive finance arms of other car makers performing? Are they seeing similar trends? Without the actual content of the investor presentation, it is hard to give a concrete forward-looking statement. The story here is that TMCC is providing updated information to the public. The fact it is being furnished under regulation, FD suggests they're being proactive in their disclosures. The risk I am watching within any financing company related to automakers is usually the overall health of the auto industry and the broader economy. A slowdown in car sales or a significant recession can quickly impact a company like TMCC through increased loan defaults. Oh, and the research tools I actually use are linked in the description. They help keep this channel going. That is my take. Stay decoded. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe, and join the Discord in the description.